Hey everyone, so we're here with a interview with a current student of mine who's been through the TAP system. I thought it'd be great to get Steve on in a second. Oh, in a second he's going to introduce himself properly, but just his experience of going through the TAP system. He's just coming close to the end of his 3 month, the cycle with the TAP system. So, firstly, Steve, would you like to introduce yourself? Where are you based? What you teach? What do you do?
Okay, yeah. Hi, Swap. So my name's Steve, obviously. I have clubs in Ellesmere Port and Chester, which are both in the Cheshire area. So Cheshire West. I'm sure lots of people have heard of Chester. So about half an hour away from Liverpool. Originally, I was born in Liverpool, but my accent's quite mild now.
So what is it that you teach?
I teach karate, namely the stylish Storyu karate. So I've been training over 45 years and teaching professionally over 20 years.
So, how have you, prior to joining the TAP system itself, how were you getting students? What were you doing marketing wise?
Well, going back many years, it'd be the traditional way of adverts in papers and kids magazines and what have you, Primary Times and what have you, flyers. Years ago, a little bit of Facebook, but maybe in the last 2 years, trying Facebook lead ads, not doing very well for me. I was getting leads, but I didn't have the automated system to follow them through. And to me, that's the most important thing, the automation. So a customer gets a text straight away, you get a text as the instructor, and you can get in touch with them straight away.
So, just to recap, so you've been basically used a bit of Facebook, you were trying flyers and all this stuff, they just didn't seem to work that well anymore. What made you reach out to me? What was it? How did you see about the TAP system? Do you remember? How was it? What actually happened? Or was it just an ad, or how was it?
When we went into lockdown originally, I had 140 students, and because of lockdown, we went down to about 50. Albeit that we went straight onto Zoom lessons, a full timetable on Zoom, but obviously some students don't get on with Zoom and what have you, and you naturally lose them. And then I was in a process of thinking, well, I've got to start again, basically, and get new students in very quickly. I can't remember how originally maybe it was a Facebook post I saw that you'd put up, and I went and had a look and I actually saw some interviews of other instructors that you'd done. I thought, well, I'll give it a go, and I got in touch with you and haven't looked back since.
It's brilliant. I mean, we'll get onto in a second, the results that you've had, which have been great, really, really good as well. What stood out for you? So basically, we had a chat. I showed you what the TAP system's all about, what it can do. What made you? What was it? The bit of it that interested you, and why did you end up signing up?
Some of the interviews, some of the instructors said how many leads they had, but what was more important to me is how many of those leads are then go on to be paying students or paying customers that actually join. To me, the automation side, because it doesn't matter how many leads you get if you don't have that system in place to contact the customer straight away. So if a lead comes in, have a Zapier system or a Zap, so you get the lead, you get notification, to get in touch, they get notification. Because we live in a world now where customers expect those things, they expect that. And what's worked really well for me is the booking system. I won't mention the trade name of it, but the booking system as well, because it's all of the automation. So it stops no-shows. I would say on the ones that book in through that booking system, that 95% maybe more, 98% actually come down. And if they don't, they have a facility to reschedule or let me know why. I think the biggest bugbear for instructors of the martial arts is no-shows and not knowing why. But this reduces that vastly. And then the customer has a system to reschedule if they can't make it for some reason. So I'd say 98%, once they're booking, they're arriving at the dojo or they're arriving for their lesson.
That's brilliant. That's really good. It's actually higher than I was expecting, to be fair, because it's generally I've seen about with that software, it is definitely higher. I've seen 80% plus, but that's really, really good.
I had to look the other day, about 98%, because I also, you could just leave it with that software and let them book. They do book in anyway, but I actually get in touch with them as well to ask their child's name. So mainly it's for kids, although we do teach adults as well. Yeah. To ask their children's name. So it's not just the automated texts and emails, it's me personally speaking to them. And I think they like that, and it encourages them to come more.
Yeah, I think one thing that you've touched upon is like automations are great. You should have it, but people still expect a human touch, or just if you can speak to them, it helps massively because they know it's a real person then as well. So
yeah,
I think that's really good, really important as well, which most people try automating everything. You know, you can't automate everything. I don't think you can, but it doesn't work as well from what I've seen. So let's talk about results, and then we'll go into a little bit more about the TAP system. What results have you had within? I mean, we've not hit the 3 month yet, but we're close to it. What results have you had from going through the TAP system?
So we've gone from 50 students because of lockdown. It totally devastated my business. 220, so that's 70 new paying students.
Brilliant.
Well, 20, well, no, 10 of those are still on this introductory thing because I'm not allowed to mention, I made a payment.
Oh yeah.
Offer. I showed you, yeah. That, they love that. Again, it looks professional, and using your system, okay, implemented that on how to word special offers. So you make sure you put in what you are actually going to give to that customer. So you don't undersell it, but then show the massive discount, and people love a discount, don't they? Yeah. So that payment link, it's very convenient for them. I can put my own logos on, my own colors. It looks professional, and they can just go, right, I've had my free lesson. Now I can go on to this trial, you know, and it includes their karate suit, or gi as we call it in Japanese. So it takes that pain away from the parent, because, you know, one of the biggest things, how much is the karate suit? Because that's the most important thing to parents. When can my child have their karate suit on? And most important thing to the children as well, because they want to look like everybody else in the class. And then that then guides them into join, to actually go on to paying by direct debit. So I've just gone with a new direct debit system. Again, I'm not allowed to say I might who the company is. But
you can. It's Stripe, isn't it? Most people.
I use Stripe for the
yes,
offers, and Go Cardless for the direct debits.
Yeah.
So I'm just in the process of moving everybody over to Go Cardless. And the Go Cardless system is, wow, it's so easy for customers. It's an online direct debit form. And they love that as well, the fact that it's so convenient. Then I don't have to spend days chasing money, and I don't want to.
No, it's once you have that bit automated and you're not having to chase people for money, it's a great relief as well. So because it's always awkward, isn't it, asking them?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's huge result. I mean, 70 students. I mean, what would you have been happy with before, like once you signed up? You know, what was your expectations then? What were you thinking of? If the TAP system give me this, I would have been well happy.
If the TAP system had given in 3 months, had given me 10 new students a month, that would have been 30 students. I would have been happy, you know. but it just wowed me to the point where I think we discussed this. It overwhelmed me a bit with time. I was just burnt out. I'm still burnt out, Swap. But that's why the automation is really important to me, because if you don't have that in place, you can become overwhelmed and lose students or lose potential customers anyway. And it's having a system where you can handle it all.
Yeah. I mean, so if you was to try, like someone that's watching this and has just come across me and they've just seen the tap system, but they're not sure what it is, how would you describe that to them? What is the tap system?
It's a system of marketing. So you talked about copywriting, you talk about how Facebook has algorithms for images and things like that, and testing different images. It's let's rewind. I'll rewind a bit. The system is very good that you have, because you have these coaching calls every Friday. And even without doing the coaching calls, you have those modules. So it guides a new instructor who's not used the swap system, the tap system before. It guides them through those elements. Do this module first, those modules online that you have. Do this next, do this video, and they're all on video, so you can go through. I found I paused a lot and wrote notes, because that's the way I learn. It teaches you about the Facebook management system, so Adverts Manager, how to write the copy, not what to write in the copy, because I still found that extremely difficult. I think as a child, I always found writing essays difficult. And as martial arts instructors, we tend to be very, we expect everything to be perfect. You've said that before, but it's just, it's inbuilt to us as martial arts instructors coming up through the grades, and especially in karate, very much the ethos of it, karate is aiming for perfection. And then we take that across to everything else in our life.
Yeah.
So I found that that'll do, just try it. So I got my Facebook out. I actually left mine for a bit and needed to be encouraged, because I wanted the automation set up as well. So the tap system teaches you about automation, which is really important. New customers, doesn't matter how many leads you get, if you don't eventually, after you've done your first ad, have some sort of system of automation, well, you're going to lose them anyway. I think in the modern day world, people expect you to contact them straight away, because you're not the only one that they've contacted. That's what I've learned as well. They've contacted 3 or 4 people. And I've had, I don't know, from the customers I've spoken to afterwards that have joined, he said, yeah, Steve, we contacted such and such. You're the only one that got in touch with us straight away. You're the only one that got back to us. So it's important to get back, because they see it as unprofessional if you don't get back.
Yeah, definitely. It's so many times, I'm sure everyone, even who's watching this or yourself, people don't follow up. People don't come back to you. You fill some form out, you fill something online, you're wondering what's happening next, kind of thing. So it brings that professionalism a lot. And then that people experience that process from you and they go, wow, these guys must know what they're doing. And then, yeah, no, you're right. Definitely, it makes a massive difference, that bit.
Well, we've all experienced as businessmen or businesswomen, as business people, if we have a supplier that isn't very professional and doesn't get back to us, we won't deal with them, especially when you're busy in your business. I run my business on my own. I have to do everything, put all these different hats on, advertising, getting supplies in. I've just designed a new hoodie, I've designed loads. But if I don't, I'll give an example of a company was printing some certificates for me that I needed for Sunday. They didn't arrive. They came afterwards.
Yeah.
But no answering the phone after they'd got my work, after they'd got my business, no reply back to emails. I won't deal with them again. It's the same for prospective customers. of course, they're not going to deal with you if that's the image that you give initially. But if you give a professional image, oh, Steve's got in touch with us, SNW Karate has got in touch with us, you know, straight away, they've followed through. They've done what they said they were going to do. And that's even down to if you say, right, with this offer, we're going to give you a free karate suit, have it ready for the next lesson that child comes to with the name on it. So it looks efficient. Well, it's not just looks efficient, it is efficient.
Definitely. So let me ask you this question. So what does your future look like now after you've been through it? How do you see where yourself is growing? Like, where do you want to get to, and how has the TAP system helping you get in there?
Well, my short-term goals is to get to 200 students. Beyond there, I'd like to sort of maybe go into franchising with some of my instructors. But I think a lot of other instructors will sympathize, not sympathize, but will feel this. The biggest bugbear for us as martial arts instructors is having assistant instructors ready to take on, so that you're not doing it all yourself. Like I say, I've been training 45 years and I'm 6th dan in Studio Karate Do. My instructors have been training a long time. They haven't done a month's course. Okay.
How long do you think it's going to take you to hit that 200 now?
I wouldn't base it on the previous shoot up, because it's sort of quietening down a bit. I would say by April of 2022, I should be up to 200 easily. Because I know it's slowing down a bit, and I'm fine with that.
You know, like you still got the January rush to come, so you probably will actually get there quicker, I think. So, but no, it's good. It's brilliant. It's like you know, you're getting all these systems in place, so you know, it's actually
want to oversell and underdeliver, as they say. So let's say April 200. But then I want to go on and see. I've spoken to some of my assistant instructors and said, would you be interested in going open up a club there, a club there, a club there? But it's persuading them, and you know, and then you've got to.
You feel confident that you can now do that?
Yeah, definitely. But I'd still be heading the more the admin side and the getting the marketing side, and paying for event, you know, the business side of that.
So in terms of like marketing and stuff, would you say you're a lot more confident now with getting booked appointments and like not leads, actually people showing up and booked appointments?
Way more confident. And the biggest thing for me is it's no good if you've got brilliant marketing and you get, you know, even through the booking system, okay, and you get loads of students, if you aren't able, with the level of service that you give, with the program you give, if you can't convert them to students, it's pointless.
True.
Do you understand what I mean? So I've learned to be a better salesman at the club without being dishonest. We're still being honest, so that comes across to that new parent. You know, I hope it comes across that I'm very passionate about teaching their children our system, because of so many positive benefits for children and adults. And I hope the parents can see that I'm passionate about what I do, and I'm passionate about it for their children. And I think it sells it, hence 80% converting to joining.
That's brilliant. That's really, really good figures. So like, what would you say to someone that is that's on the fence, or maybe has just seen an ad of mine or something, like if I am the real deal, if you want to say that, because there's a lot of, unfortunately, scammers out there, but just what would you say to someone that's on the fence for getting into the TAP system? Is it worth doing, or was it worth the investment?
100%. Get off the fence. And I understand being on the fence, because I was on there for maybe three months, because it's that fear of the unknown. But it's the same if you're a martial arts instructor, you'll understand this, that the hardest or the most fearful step is taking that first step into the dojo. It's the same with this system. Swap isn't a scammer. You can pay me later, Swap. The system definitely works. And also what I like, Swap, is the fact that the way you've broken it down into the modules, you know, the actual training. So it's not, I'm a marketing company, we will do this for you and charge you thousands of pounds a month and promise this, but don't deliver this. The system actually teaches the instructors how to be marketeers. And that's important. And how to automate. That's the most important thing. And the system is very progressive, like being you know, in karate, going through the belts. Although I must admit, I did jump around a bit, as you know. I jumped, I'll go and see what that's about.
And I was like, you need to go back there and go follow the system.
Yeah, that's right. So yes, it definitely works. And I would get off the fence and get onto the system. It works. And if you follow the system properly and enjoy it, you will get busy if it's working for you, and it will work for you, but you've got to be prepared for that.
I think that's the biggest thing. A lot of people get surprised with how well it works.
Yeah.
It's that it's like, oh, before I didn't have any leads or appointments, now I've got too many. And then you've got a new problem, but it's a good problem to have, I suppose, you know, in the day, then you need to like refine your other processes and stuff. So, well,
yeah,
firstly, yeah, sorry.
The thing that the system as well, the TAP system, it has a knock-on effect to your website and everything. You get leads from, and word of mouth, obviously, and you get more leads outside of that. You get more inquiries outside of the lead ads just purely on Facebook that are genuine inquiries. Yeah, they just, it's a snowball effect. It comes from other directions, but also I've automated my inquiry form on my website, but because of learning, you know, on the TAP system, how to automate. So I've automated my inquiry form on the website. So my inquiry form, somebody makes an inquiry and I get in touch with them, you know, straight away. It sends them a text, sends me a text. So I've used that same sort of system to set up. So it's, yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, Steve, for me, I'm really, really happy that you've had such great success with it. And to be fair, it's just a start because you've learned an amazing skill now, which you can use. It's going to last for a long time. Like, yeah, Facebook changes here and there, but the thing is that you've learned the way it's set out, marketing, you know, how to create offers, how to write copy and all this stuff. So it's not just one thing. So yeah, I'm really, really happy with your results. And I know you're going to smash. I know you're saying April for 200. I'm pretty sure it'll be before that. So yeah, we'll see. But so anyone else that's watching this video, if you want some more info about the TAP system or anything, or just want to chat with me, feel free to reach out to me. And if you do want to speak to Steve, I'm sure Steve won't mind if me saying you can't. I'm pretty sure you don't mind, do they? If someone wanted to just have a quick chat with you or something, you know.
I don't mind at all. No.
So I just literally just dropped that on you, didn't I?
I don't mind.
It's yeah. So depending on where you're watching this, you know, either just send me a message, or if there's like a button to book a call or something, then just go ahead. It's not going to be a sales call, nothing like that. For me first and my team is just to figure out if we can help you first. So yeah. So Steve, thank you so much for jumping on this. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing a lot more results from you. So still hang around, but yeah, I'm on this call now. So yeah, and everyone else, thanks for watching. I hope you found this useful, and see you all soon.
Bye, everybody.